The first step in using the quiz module inside of Moodle is to set up categories in which to save your questions to. This is extremely important as this is what helps organize the background question bank for you to be able to better use it inside your course. So in other words, you need to have folders to put your questions in so that when you go to use your questions you can pull them from different places. For example, if you have a quiz on each section and at the end of the course you're going to give a final and you want to pull 3 questions from each quiz, you can do that as long as you have them divided up into categories. And so that's the first step that we're going to do, is set up categories inside our FHTC Moodle Camp course to enable me to do that down the road. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the administration section of your course, which is on the left side towards the bottom, and we're going to click on Question Bank, and then we're going to click on Categories so that we can set your categories up. You will notice that inside your categories you have different levels, and we have Moodle Bootcamp, we have FHT Instructor Toolbox, and we have System, which you're probably not going to have as many categories because you don't have administrative rights. You want to be sure that you are inside your course, that you're not setting it up at the category level or at the system level. You want to make sure that you are inside your Moodle Bootcamp course. When you go down to the bottom part of that screen, you will see a part that says Add Category. Your parent category is where it is putting your categories in, and therefore your questions when you begin putting your questions in. So you want to make sure that this says your course and not something else. So the first category we're going to put in is Introduction, because that's our first section. So I'm going to put Introduction. On this, I could put in category information if I wanted to, if I wanted more reminder of what I was doing as far as my categories. This time I'm not going to do that, and so I'm going to click on Add Category. When I do, you will now see that under Moodle Bootcamp I have a section called Introduction. It shows me that I have 0 questions, so my questions are, for right now I've not put any questions in this bank. At this point in time, I can delete this category if I so choose to do that. I can go in and edit this category, which will allow me to go in and change the name, add category information, any of that kind of stuff that I may want to do, or I can move this up to the top level. So in other words, instead of Moodle Bootcamp, Introduction would be my top level. So the rest of that I want to leave as is, but I want to go ahead while I'm in here and add the rest of my categories. Once I have my categories created, I need to go back in and check to make sure everything is correct. And you'll notice that Now You've Done It, which is one of my sections, I have in the Instructor Toolbox instead of in my Moodle course. So I need to go back in and I need to move that. I need to have it into the right section. So I'm going to click on my edit. You'll notice that my parent category now says Default for FHTC Instructor. I can click on this and you'll notice that one of my choices is Default for Moodle Bootcamp, so I'm going to click on that, which will move this up to where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to go ahead and save changes, and when I do, I now have all of my sections where they're supposed to be at. That's the first step of setting up a quiz.